So, another little project with MrIcy's help. I'm going to decorate a lamp. Hello, it's Icy. Well, actually, technically, two lamps, a matched pair. But before we get into that, let's just talk about this real quick. So, you would have, if you've been watching the channel, known that I was going to a wedding with the family, made an outfit for it, video in the top corner. And for real, it was the most glorious wedding. The bride and groom are both lovely, lovely people. The bride looked glorious. Everybody, it was just the most lovely wedding. But the trip for us was so cursed. Like, so cursed. This is the last bit. So the hotel didn't send us the code to get our card to get into the hotel after the wedding. So we spent the night on the mother-in-law's floor. The rental car, which should have had a full tank of gas, petrol? I'm in Australia. Petrol did not. And we had to stop partway through the drive home through small, tiny, windy roads to find a petrol station at like 10:30 at night so we could fill up, that we could get the rest of the way to the mother-in-law's, then to the hotel, then back to the mother-in-law's. I got some weird reaction on the back of my leg. So I had a giant red spot, this big. It's nearly gone. I don't know what that was. There was a chemist. We went to the chemist. We got drugs. I don't know. MrIcy vomited all over the mother-in-law's bathroom. Luckily, it was the bathroom. That's all I'm saying. And then, as the very last thing to cap off what was otherwise a really nice trip, the boot of the boot door of the taxi dropped onto my glasses, which then slammed into the front of my nose and cut across my nose in a perfect half circle that I was very sure I was probably going to need stitches for, but probably don't. And so I spent the next hour after we got home with like literally a tissue that it kept bleeding through and an ice pack to hopefully remove the bruising. Anyway, that was yesterday. It was trip. It was trip. Absolutely. Mother-in-law is the most delightful lady. We got to spend time with MrIcy's sister and her husband and family. It was their daughter getting married. It was lovely. It was such... We had a delightful time, but it was so cursed. Anyway, it's fine. So the project we're talking about right now, yes, MrIcy is being tricky again. Let me show you this. A while ago, 4 months ago, some time ago, he bought an auction lot of $12 worth of, I think, oxyacetylene torch bits and pieces. He was hoping for like the oxyacetylene welding stuff, like the sticks would fit with his system. They did not. However, the rest of it was filled with a whole heap of interesting brass. If it's not an oxyacetylene torch thing, because he's not here and I can't consult, I will place a text over here that explains exactly what these are. So, I looked at the bits and pieces and said, oh my gosh, what if you put those together to make a steampunk lamp? Like a lamp base. So this is the handle section. This is like one of the valve sections. This little bit here is like a three-way valve section at the bottom. We've even used the little switches. which have the loveliest click. So he got the electrics to go in it. As you can see, we've got a light, made a wooden base for it to go on, and oh my goodness me, look at this. It is so freaking great. It is just glorious. I have two. There's another one as well. Its base is sort of a maroon red instead of black. I wanted him to leave it looking all chipped. So this is on purpose, and I wanted it to really look like it had been like equipment. I didn't want it to look shiny and new. So this I'm so happy with how it's turned out. So I need to make some lampshades for it. Now, sometime prior to this, maybe 6 months or more ago, I found two circular lampshades. They are very plain, though admittedly when I picked them up they had fake crystals hanging from this section on the inside, like sort of hanging down and dangling. I don't know. Anyway, I figured something that's actually made of a metal frame as opposed to being cardboard would be good. I got them off the side of the road, so they were free. They were me carrying it back after a walk. And so they've been sitting here waiting for the right project. And funnily enough, the right project got made for me. So my part of this is to actually cover these. Now, what am I going to cover them with? I don't really know yet. I've been going through my bits and pieces and seeing what I've got. I think if I kind of stick with reds and blacks, and if I've got any warm colours, I'm not sure I have any stuff that will count for warmth. Anyway, I think reds and blacks I can probably do, and maroons, obviously. I have enough stuff along those lines that I can put something together. These are going to go on the hall table at the entryway to our house that MrIcy also made, of course, and then just sort of sit side by side. And it's sort of warm colours in that area. It's not really reds and blacks, it's sort of like oranges, but red and black lamps on a dark coloured table, sort of a wooden, fairly dark, not as dark as these bases, wood table will look great. So I think I'm actually going to be using this as the main part of it. It's not really, excuse me, super suitable necessarily for a lamp, but I think it's actually going to kind of work. Now, this cost me all of $2 from Reverse Garbage, which I am a huge fan of. They basically take not really building waste, but manufacturing odds and ends that companies can't use anymore, and then they reuse and resell. So just recently they had a huge pile of fabric, like sort of from like maybe like a dancewear manufacturer. So lots of really interesting stuff. So I picked up, this. Now this is on camera. This is looking very tomato red. In real life, it's definitely a cooler sort of cherry red instead. But so just imagine that. So this is like there we go, like a stretch lace, stretch across in one direction, which I mean, you're not really meant to cover lamps or lampshades with stretch, but oh well. I don't care. So I think this will work. So if I just grab, say, that and just sort of pull it around. I mean, I can't really show you, like, this is not plugged in right now, so I can't really turn it on and show you what it looks like. But see, it's got a vibe, right? I think it has a vibe. So I think ultimately these are going to be fairly simple. I do have a bunch of like bits and pieces, also from Reverse Garbage actually, bits and pieces of trim, like traditional lamp trim, like sort of Chinese decorative braid and like decorative like lace type stuff that I could add to this as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll set up one of the lights, turn it on, and then try doing some draping, and we'll see what we get. Well, I am so very, very pleased with how these came out. My initial plan of just like throwing some of the red material over the lights, like the white ribboned lights, I mean, I did that and I had them here and I even recorded like a video of like the final thing. And then I went, okay, I can't half-ass this because these look too good, or they have the potential to look amazing. The bases look stunning, and I think I need the lampshades to be as good as that. And so then it was many, 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 many hours of hand sewing after that. So yeah, I stripped off all the white ribbon, which I'm going to keep because it is actually quite good and there's a lot of it. Covered all of the metal with hand sewn on tape, also from reverse garbage, so it just cost a couple of bucks, which is great. And then basically re-tensioned and recut the stretch. I did do some further experiments with different trim that I had, but the lights sort of ended up looking more like cowboy western dance hall than I was comfortable with. So I took off the fringe that I was sort of experimenting with around the bottom and just went with sort of the Chinese style braid here and this little bit of kind of it's braid as well, but it's kind of like shaped to look a little bit like lace, and just left it at that. And I am so pleased with the result. In the dark like this, the color is actually fairly good, so it is kind of it's showing the right shade of color. It makes the most beautiful designs on the wall as well. It just looks so good. My fingers hurt like from hand sewing, even, and it's not even particularly hard hand sewing because it's, you know, like I don't need to be fine. There doesn't need to be a million stitches, but there's quite a lot of pulling. And I'm actually thinking if I'm going to do more of these, which actually I am going to do more of these, at least 2, maybe 3. I'm actually going to make myself like a little leather cover for my pinky so I can use that to like pull, because it's almost like I've got like a little cut on the side where I've been tensioning the thread. But I think I learned a bit by doing this. So just sort of the process of sort of covering the uprights, you know, kind of what would look okay surprisingly difficult to sort of pull it together and go, yes, that's working, no, that's not, yes, that's too much, no, that's all right. Yeah, I'm so very happy with these lights, or these lamps. They look absolutely legitimate, like legit, or just really, really good. They work perfectly on this really skinny hall table that we have here that MrIcy made. It's just perfect. It's just perfect. Once again, an heirloom that the children can fight over, I think. But yeah, do you like my steampunk lamps? Bases by MrIcy, light shades by me. I think they worked really well. Have you covered a lampshade before? If that's something you're interested in, yeah, keep an eye out for. You need to not get the ones that are basically cardboard all the way through, like around. You want to get ones, and they're usually vintage or thrifted or old ones that have a metal frame, because they're the ones that you can actually experiment with and do interesting stuff. But yeah, I had a great time. I'm so pleased with the results. It looks just amazing. But thank you very much for watching. Next project is, I'm not sure what's queued on the video, what will be next after this one. Something to do with the a jacket, the Elder Scrolls Online / Victorian jacket, I believe. So, looking forward to getting back into that one. Thank you so much for watching. I am Icy, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.